All right, so hello everybody. Welcome to Ria Vision Avant here. And this is another one of our incredible Thursday opportunities for you guys to get a connect to, first of all, meet some of our amazing BPC members. And then this is an opportunity where we're going to go through some training, okay? And so today our topic is going to be all about getting on stages. So if you want to learn how to get on more stages, that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to go over 3 different things that you can do to get on more stages so that you can be able to offer your products and your services. So I think what I need to make, and what we're going to do is we're going to first introduce one of and they're going to be able to talk to you guys about what it is that they do. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with Miss Avancia Brown, looking very sharp and all tailored, darling. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Let us know what it is that you do.
Hey everyone, I am Evancia Barron, otherwise known as Coach Evancia, and I am a certified life coach. And I primarily work with women who feel stuck in life from different setbacks, from work relationships, broken romantic relationships, or broken family relationship. I help women create a new plan for their life by uncovering what is holding them back and holding them accountable to accomplish those goals. And you can call me the bounce back coach. So thank you for the opportunity to introduce myself.
Absolutely. And Evancia, tell us, how can we get in contact with you? So let us know your website and what can they get when they connect with you.
Yeah, so you can connect with me by going to bouncebackfreegift.com, where you can get a free gift on how to overcome setbacks and bounce back. And once you receive that email with your free gift, you have the opportunity to book a free call with me, which is a complimentary session for 30 minutes. And we can uncover what setbacks you have and how we can move forward. You can also find me on social media platform at Coach Evancia on Instagram and Facebook, as well as Evancia Barron. So thank you again.
Oh, absolutely. What was the website one more time, though? Just the website.
Oh, bouncebackfreegift.com.
Bouncebackfreegift.com. So make sure that you guys plug into that. Bouncebackfreegift.com. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, let's go ahead and go to Sharon Baker Boykin. Sharon, the floor is now yours.
Well, thank you very much, Coach. My name is Sharon Baker Boykin. I am a legal life coach, an attorney, and an author. I work with business professionals to help them get their stuff in order by getting their legacy love letter done within 30 days or less, because we acquire so much stuff during our lifetime that we cannot take with us when we transition. So we need to put these items in writing so that we know who we're protecting, our family, friends, religious and charitable organizations. You know, there's a
Absolutely.
crazy statistic, 77% of African Americans die without a will. And I've seen some crazy fights because I was a probate court administrator during some of my career, and I just saw too many ugly fights that we need to not have happen. So I just work with professionals who want to get their stuff in order.
I
And
love it. And where do we need to go to start getting our stuff in order?
go to www.helpmegetmystuffinorder.com. I have a free
I
ebook
love it.
there, and you can get in contact with me. We can move forward.
So in the free ebook, what we gonna get on the free ebook?
Well, I'm going to talk about the reasons why people don't get their wills done or estate plans done and dispel those myths. You know, one of those myths, Coach Taria, people say, well, if I do a will, I'm telling God I'm ready to go. And I said, no, we all have a date. We don't know when that date is going to occur. So let's just get prepared on the front end so that all the things that we've acquired can go to our loved ones and not get tied up in court.
Absolutely. Help me get my stuff in order.com, correct?
Correct.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, well, Miss Bertha Winston, we're going to have you go up next. Miss Bertha, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, hello, hello. My name is Bertha Winston, and I help individuals who are retired and are planning on retiring eliminate debt, become debt free, repair their credit, and become stress free. And you can get in contact with me at www.retiredanddebtfree.com. And there you will find my free ebook on 7 tips on how to become debt free.
7 tips, guys. So we're going to become debt free. Then we're going to get our stuff in order. And then Advancing going to help get you, well, she going to, no, the legal stuff. And Advancing going to help you get you all the rest of that stuff in order, right? Is that how we doing it? Okay. So again, and what's your website one more time?
www.retiredanddebtfree.com.
I love it. www.retiredanddebtfree.com. Okay, well, let's go ahead and go to Keisha. Oh, I'm about to give you a whole new name, Keisha. Who am I calling right now? Carrie Clark Pearson. Go ahead and introduce yourself, darling, and let us know about yourself.
Hello, hello, hello. I hope y'all are having a happy Thursday so far. My name is Carrie Clark Pearson, and I empower HBCU students and young professionals to discover and achieve their passion on purpose to become future leaders in the workplace. And you can find a free ebook on HBCU networking and next steps there. And that address is www.achievewithpurpose.net.
Love it. Achievewithpurpose.net. So one more time, what are they going to get when they go there? What are they going to get?
And HBCU networking, it teaches you the steps for connecting, whether it's personal or professional.
I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, darling. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And guys, we're going to be getting now into this training of today. And so I'm super excited about what we're going to talk about because it's all about public speaking. It's all about getting on stages. It's all about, taking it to the next level. Now, when you guys get a chance to connect with our Book Profits Club members, make sure you let them know that you connected with them here on our Thursday session. So we'll make sure that you can connect with them because I'll make sure that they'll also get on the chat and comment here in the Facebook group. Okay. So a little bit about what we're going to talk about today. So the goal is to show you guys how to successfully get on more stages, right? So all of our BPC members that are here today, if you want to be on more stages, type that 1 in the chat. If you want to be on more stages, type 1 in the chat. Let me know you guys are ready to get on more stages. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. So we want to get on more stages. And why do we want to get on more stages? So that's the thing. There could be a couple of different reasons. Some people want to get on the stages because they just simply want to be able to share their story, talk about their story. But many of us, especially coming from the Book Profits Club world, we want to get on stages because we've got people to help, right? We know that our voice is what's going to connect to other people that allows us to offer our programs, products, services. The more stages that you get on, the more people you get in front of, the more opportunities you're given to be able to help more people. And for me, I'm just going to be very honest. My first year of being a business coach, right? Regardless of whatever kind of coach you want to call me, but I got into the space of trading what I have learned, how I've been able to overcome a specific step and helping other people, coaching, right? When I became a full-time coach, which was when I became a coach, I was full-time, I was able to generate a specific amount of income based on the fact that I was on stages. Now, you got different types of stages as well, right? And so you have your own stage and you have OPPs, and that's other people's platforms. And the one thing that I'm going to be honest, y'all, I wish I would have made more focus on was being on OPPs. But even without being on an OPP and doing my own stages, I've generated a 6-figure coaching business, my first year in coaching. Now, I got to be honest with you guys. The reason why I generated 6 figures in coaching is because I made offers And a lot of times when I see people get on stages that speak, they're not creating opportunities for people to work with you further. I want you guys to type in the chat. Let me know, who are your favorite speakers? Just give me one or two people that you know that are your favorite speakers. Type that in the chat. Let me know. Who are your favorite speakers? Type it in the chat and let me know. Who are your favorite speakers? Let me know in the chat. And I'll tell you, I've got some favorite speakers as well. And my favorite speakers are more in the coaching space. So I love Lisa Nichols, and I love Lisa Nichols because she is really the person who taught me to get on stage and sell my products, right? She didn't teach me how to do it. She taught me through me watching her do it, right? You look at, okay, a lot of people type Les Brown in the chat. If you look at Les Brown, does Les Brown have coaching programs? Does he or does he not have a coaching program? Right? And so for the most part, if you're talking about, yes, he does. He actually does have a coaching program. He has a public speaking coaching program that teaches you how to get on the stage and speak. So years ago, right? Matter of fact, let me see. Hold on. Oh, Les Brown, public speaking coaching. He has a coaching program. Yeah, it's called one-to-one speaking. I think it's called one-to-one speaking coaching, something like that. And if you pay attention to Les Brown today, more than ever, he will be offering you guys that opportunity to learn how to get on the stage and speak. So that's a course. It means he's making an offer. Now, there used to be a time where maybe you might be a celebrity. Maybe you're endorsed by a Oprah Winfrey and you get on a TV show where you have your own show. So you don't make offers, but was Yvonne, I can never say her name right. Ivania Van Zant. What was she providing? She was providing a service as well. It's just she happened to be on TV. So it was a what? Therapy sessions, right? And so in exchange of you getting on TV, she would offer you the therapy sessions. But how did you connect with her? Through her being on stage. So did she or did she not make an offer? She made an offer, right? And so if you look at anybody today, outside of course, the president, but shucks, Michelle Obama had a book, right? So anybody that you may see that is a professional speaker that speaks on multiple stages, that has used their voice in many situations, they have made offers and opportunities for you to work further with them. So even with you being a speaker, right now, if you plan on being the first lady of the United States of America, you don't really have to be able to provide too much more additional opportunity, because that title alone in itself is why she has become one of our favorite speakers. Let's just be honest. But if you are someone that is like a Les Brown or a Lisa Nichols or Tony Robbins, or some people love a Gary Vaynerchuk, those individuals who are speakers and they get onto stage to speak, to offer opportunity, they have additional products and services. Some people might be looking at maybe your favorite authors, right? They get on the stage, they provide books, they provide movies, they provide stage plays, they provide other opportunities. Does this make sense? If this makes sense, type 1 in the chat. And so why am I bringing this up? What does this have to do with anything? Because when we get on a stage, there always has to be a purpose. And if it's only to get on the stage and talk, well, baby, that's all you're going to ever get. You're never going to be able to produce a harvest by not necessarily sowing the seed of what's next. And so I actually learned this in the space of network marketing. We used to call it BAM fam. BAMFAM. BAM fam actually stands for book a meeting from a meeting. Crystal, you need to join us over here in the BPC chat, girl. Log into the speakers and trainers course under the book BPC courses, so you can join us in the Zoom chat. But you can join us over here at Zoom. You log in, you'll see the links there. But yeah, and so BAM fam meant book a meeting from a meeting, right? And so that meant that every single time you hear me, my goal is to have you to hear me again. And so when you look at a speaker, like the names that you guys have named, did you only listen to them once? No, you've listened to them again and again. And so how are you preparing people to be able to hear from you more than once? And so the way that we do it as small business owners, is we build our database. So every single time you step on a stage, you should be collecting coins or primarily first contacts. If you're speaking in front of an audience where none of these people are on your email list, they're not a part of your database, they're not a part of your, your tribe, then you should be focusing on building your database. And so one of the questions that I ask every single one of us that introduced ourselves is, how can we get in touch with you? And so I'm gonna teach you guys. Whenever I get on a stage and someone says, how do I get on? And a stage could be a podcast, a stage could be a magazine, a stage could be a physical actual stage, right? Whenever someone says, how do we get in touch? So that I can make it as easy as possible, my goal is to get you to subscribe so I can get your contact information. We think that Amazon is an e-commerce company. No, they're one of the world's largest database acquisition companies. They get so much information about us that they even know what time of the month it is for many of us. They know when we buy more of this versus when we buy less of that. They know when our birthdays are coming. They know when events are coming. They know based on everything we bought, they have created an entire database buying about every single one of you if you have an Amazon login. You thought they were, no. And the crazy thing is Amazon built a whole business initially off of having no products. They never even have their own products. I mean, now they might, I don't know if Amazon does have like its own Amazon brand, but 9 times out of 10, I'm not even sure. All they do is have a lot of warehouses. So we might even say that Amazon is a database acquisition company and a real estate company, not an e-commerce. Does that make sense, you guys? And so as we are also on stages speaking, we should be focusing on acquiring contact information, especially if it's in front of a cold audience. But let's talk about 3 different ways or three different tips that I want to give you guys on getting on more stages. Number 1, guys, type in the chat, I have if, wait till I say it. Type I have if you have ever seen someone that you know speaking at another event and they posted a flyer. Put I have in the chat. If you've ever seen someone that you know, okay, Advancia, Carrie, Bertha, right? I have. You type I have in the chat, right? So that means you have literally seen other people who have said, I'm speaking at XYZ Thus conference. And it might be a conference that could be coming up immediately or one that's down the line. See, I love when somebody posts a flyer showing that they're speaking at an event. It's September and they're speaking at an event in January and they didn't post the flyer. Because what do you think I'm going to do? Anybody want to unmute and guess? Maybe not.
To ask them for the contact information of the host of the event.
You are very close. You are very close. Absolutely. Because a lot of times what they're going to do, Avancia, and thank you so much. And so Avancia says, ask them for the contact information. You absolutely can do that. Number one thing I will tell you is that a lot of times people are not even expecting that. People never expect someone to say, oh my God, congratulations, you're speaking at this conference. How did you get on the stage? Like, how did you get to be a speaker? Like, you know how many people do not ask other speakers the simple question of how did you get on that stage? For whatever reason it may be.
So you maybe ask them, do you need any speakers?
Yes, ma'am. There you go, right? So absolutely. I am going, because a lot of times what they'll do, and I could even, oh my goodness, I can show you guys an example. So, but y'all know my internet is real ghetto. Okay, so Shay Brown, many of us know Shay Brown. And Shay Brown speaks at everybody's events, okay? And so the Shay Brown is a part of the making of an entrepreneur. He has some more brands that are launching, just incredible human being, right? Well, I saw Shay Brown today posted a flyer stating that he's going to be speaking at this XYZ conference coming up several months from now. And guess what he did, y'all? he tagged the person. So then I can go and message that person and say, hey, oh my goodness, I see that you have Shay Brown speaking at your event. That's actually one of my partners, done business with him. And I wanted to know, how do you go about finding speakers? And or, just like you just said, you're looking for anybody else. I'd love to come and speak. Because this is the deal. What I have come to find, y'all, is that a lot of times I'm thinking that, a lot of times that, people would just assume to reach out to me and say, hey, can you come and speak at my event? I'm just assuming that, people would say, listen, hey, we would love for you to come and come to our, but do you know how many people do that? They assume that no, Taria might be busy. They assume Bertha got a lot of things. See, I see Bertha is out here booked and busy. I see Bertha has a lot going on, so we don't even think she's available. Cherry, she's out here working with these HBCUs. I don't even know. Sharon, Evancia, just busy. And so people make assumptions about what they think you got going on in your life, especially if you are one to show all the great things you got going on. But you over here like, no, I can come speak. Pull up. Let me know, right? And so we have to sometimes be willing, guys, to reach out to those networks. If you see somebody is speaking at an event, you can ask that person if you wish to, especially if you have a relationship with that person who's speaking. And if not, you hit them up. Now, you might not say that's a partner, but the cool thing about BPC is that everybody that's a part of Book Profits Club, we are all family. And so you can even say, listen, oh man, I see that you have Carrie Clark Pearson speaking at your event. She's actually one of my BPC members. We're part of this same BPC program. And I wanted to know, how do you go about finding speakers? And are you looking for any more? Leverage the people that you already are connected to. Guys, you do not have to just ZONOT. Be afraid to reach out and pitch yourself. I'm going to give you an example of a young lady that I know personally that has done this, y'all. So I won't say her name or nothing like that. Y'all can still hear me clear, right? Type 1 in the chat with me, because of course my computer is real down. Great. So this young lady has over 500,000 followers on TikTok. Now, if you got 500,000 followers on TikTok, do you think that you need to be pitching yourself anymore? You're going to be like, no, they need to be coming and hit me up. Well, do y'all know that with 500,000 followers still on TikTok, and that is what she teaches on, it's still a lot of people who are not. Type 2 if y'all ain't on TikTok. Type 2 if you're not on TikTok like me. I mean, you got like a profile, but you ain't really on TikTok, right? I got a TikTok profile, child, but I just be like, listen, between Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, I just hadn't gotten to it. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean? So she has 500,000 followers, but that doesn't mean that all of us know who that is, because we're not on TikTok. But she still pitches herself to every major conference out there. How many of you guys have logged in, for especially those of you guys who are Speakers Elite? There's so many conferences right now that are looking for speakers. Why? Because they're not reaching out, because they don't even know that we're there. So we have to be willing to leverage the people that are already there. Make sure listen, you see an event that looks like something you could speak at, create your pitch. Now, this is what I will say, is when you reach out to people, and this is probably a pet peeve of mine. It's not probably, it is. It's a pet peeve. When somebody reaches out to me and they're like, we should do business. Maybe, hey, let's get together so we can figure out how we can work together. No. I am already scheduled out for the remainder of the year, and I'm about to be scheduled out for 2025. I do not have time to sit down and figure out how you, who has come to me, how we can work together. You have to come with that up front. Does that make sense, guys? And so when we reach out to these organizations, it would make more sense if once we see someone we know speaking at an event, we're now going to go research the event. Then when you pitch, you say, listen, I see you have XYZ speaking at your event. How do you go about getting your speakers, and are you looking for more? Here is the topic that I speak on, and I would love to come and do this. Now, if you're looking to build up your network, and this is where for me, I do not have a problem with paying my own way. I do not have a problem with not getting paid to speak, especially if I know that this is going to be an audience where I am going to be able to do what I talked at the beginning, bam, fam, book a meeting from a meeting, because my objective is building my database. So if I can get on a stage in front of an audience of 100 people, and let's just say it's even local, it's not going to cost me anything as far as accommodations. I'm going to spend a little gas money. I can go to this event, speak on the stage, and be able to walk away with qualified leads. How many times do we do this over and over and over again? As much as we can. So look to see what other people are doing. Some of us might know someone that's like in a, like, you know, maybe connected through someone, right? That you see that's posting a flyer. So learn to leverage your network, guys. There's tons of people that are posting every single day right now. So I'm actually about to leave to go to a conference taking place here in Atlanta. It is called it's the 124th National Black Business Conference, okay? If y'all Google it and you happen to be in Atlanta, it's taking place Friday and Saturday. I think you can get your tickets for free. So if you go to the 124th, we posted it to our BPC members in the chat as well. But anyways, guess what? I see Deanna is speaking at this event, right? So she's speaking at the conference. Well, now I can then find out who is in charge of finding the speakers, say, I know Deanna, how can I go about being a part of the 125th? How can I serve? What can I do? I want to be a part of it. Does that make sense, you guys? So do not be afraid to leverage your network. Number 2 is your speaker profile set up, right? So speaker profile setup. So how do you get on stage? I need to know what you're speaking about. All right. So if I was to ask every single one of you guys, what is the topic of your talk? You should be able to know that, like it should just roll off your tongue as the way your intro statement rolls off, right? I find that a lot of us in the speaking space, we are not positioning ourselves to be booked. So your speaking stuff. So for example, I have a speaker one page that is a digital page. Now, one of the cool things that we now have available for Author All-Star, authorallstars.com, is our speakers database. If you go to www.authorallstars.com, every single one of our BPC members, you'll be able to go to their profile. The cool thing, guys, is this literally can become your speaker one page. So you don't even have to worry about creating one. You take that link. Now, what I would do, let me just show you an easy way to do it. Go to GoDaddy.com and go and purchase your first name, last name.com if that's available. Try to see if that's available first. First name, last name.com. If that is not available, first name, middle initial, last name.com, right? Or it can be official TariaAvant.com, right? So find something so you can have your first and last name. Now, if you were to go to TariaAvant.com, it's going to literally take you to my digital speakers page. On the speakers page, it's going to have some pictures, my pictures, right? So headshot pictures. It's going to have my bio. It's going to have my contact details, my talk topic, as well as if I have any media out there, just different things where people can see a one page of me. So now when I am connecting with other individuals, I don't need to send them a website where they're clicking all around trying to find about who I am and what my company. That's not what they need. They don't need that information. They need to know quickly, what's your bio? What's your talk topic? Do you got some examples of you speaking? What's your one page, right? And so with us being in a digital space, you need to have it digitally. But you also want to have a printed speaker sheet. And I'm going to tell you why on this next one, right? So when you are, well, it's kind of, we already kind of talked about, right? So when you are finding out about other people that are hosting events, you need to also create a package. In your package, you want to have a printed speakers sheet. Now, if you go Google speaker sheet templates, you can see tons of them. We actually have some speaker sheet templates available to our speakers elite members as well. And you can also hire our design team to create page is just like you can't play videos and stuff like that, right? So you're going to have, for example, your bio. You're going to have your pictures. You're going to have maybe some testimonials, right? You're going to have some media articles or the logos of as seen on, right? And then you're going to also have what, I don't know if I said this, your talk title. So now you're going to have this printed speakers page that you're going to print out at a Kinko's, front and back, full color, print it out. You're also going to print out an introduction letter. This letter is going to be specifically addressed to whoever you're mailing it to, not a general type of letter. Dr. XYZ, to the people of the XYZ. And then you're going to create a custom letter that's going to say, listen, I see you guys, well, not maybe to listen, but you know that. I see that you guys have this incredible workshop coming up, conference coming up, expo coming up, TV show coming up, whatever. I feel that I would be a great guest. In fact, my talk topic is XYZ, where I discuss, number one, how to be able to do this and that. Number two, I teach how to be able to go over that. And number three, I'm going to show you how. So I always have 3 parts to every one of my talks. I would love the opportunity to speak. Let me know. If you have any availability, I'm willing to work out any kind of opportunity to build a relationship with you, especially guys. This is a big opportunity and we're looking to build up our name and get on these opportunities, these platforms. You want to be able to speak wherever you can speak. Okay. Especially if it's not going to cost you a ton of money. So now you have your speaker sheet, your intro letter, and then you're going to also have a copy of your book. Now, for those of you guys who have come to like our mastermind, we just had our mastermind that took place in Atlanta. We recorded what is called an author brand story. An author brand story is a video that we're going to put together that will allow us to create kind of a summary of what that person talks about so that people can actually hear that person's voice, right? And we put it in a card. And so this now becomes a digital but physical printed copy. As a matter of fact, let me show you guys. I have one over here. 1 second. Let me pull it up. 1 second. So this right here, y'all, is an example of mine. I have to upload the video. But if you see, this right here has the front and then the back. Looking cool, right? But when you open it up, you're able to load in your video. And so the video will automatically play. And so it's going to be now them being able to see. And this is a wow item. This is an item that you send to the television show, to the conference that has 1,000, 2,000 people. This is what you send them. Does that make sense, y'all? And so now you put together about 4 of these packages that you can send per month. If you do not have the wow, at least you have a book, at least you have an intro and a speaker sheet, okay? So you need to have your page together. Now, if you guys are a part of Book Profits Club and you have not updated your profile on authorallstars.com, please, y'all get that done ASAP, because we are literally pitching this website to many different platforms. So please make sure you have gone to authorallstars.com and set up your profile, okay? Third way to get on a stage is to create your own. Well, 1 and 2, it's not, one way is definitely to leverage your network. The second way that I said was really your digital copy. So I'll give you a bonus because that's not really right. But the third way, and then I'll give you a bonus. The third way to get on another stage or to get on stages is to create your own. Y'all ready? And invite people who do events to come speak at yours. So it's a young lady out here in Atlanta. She does weekly events just like we do our pop-up shop. So we have our pop-up workshop that we actually, if you're a Book Profits Club member, you actually get to speak for a $200 discount. So it's $697 to partner with us, where we run ads. So that means we run ads, we have giveaways, you get 200 leads guaranteed. We actually delivered 370 leads from this last event. And what's crazy about that is that when people are speakers, they've already started emailing them, they're getting over 50% open ratio. That's crazy. That is amazing. People spend way more money than $697 on ads and do not get that kind of open ratio. Okay. So you get a chance to speak on the stage, we stream it, and we're going to restream it as well. Right. So it's a huge opportunity. As a BPC member, you actually get $200 off the price. So it's only $497. Right. So that's a cool way. But what if, for example, you know someone that's doing an event and you say, and let's say their event is for, they're doing some opportunities and maybe they don't even necessarily have speakers. By the way, you don't always have to only look for someone who has speakers. You just see they have an event and you see that it's going to be a great, and you figure out a way of how you can barter. So you say, listen, I've got my own event. How about you speak at my event and then I can speak at your event? Or you just know they have events, you invite them to come and speak at your event. Now, the only challenge with this, ladies and gentlemen, is that when you do your own events and you invite people that host events to come to yours, it needs to have people there. Does that make sense? So, like, if I'm doing an event and I know I'm going to have, 100 people there, and I come to your event and there's maybe 20 people there, is that an even exchange? Is that an even exchange, y'all? Type yes or no. What do you think? If I got 100 at my event, you got 20 at your event, isn't it an even exchange? Yes or no? No, right? Now, it could be no to the eye. Let me explain to you why as well, too. So it's based on what the situation is. So let's say it's 100 people, but the event was free. Now I'm going to change it a little bit. Say it was 100 people, but the event was free. And at this event, it's 20 people, but everybody paid $1,000 to be there. Is that kind of getting a little bit better as an exchange? So, right? It shifts things immediately. So we just have to make sure that it's value for value, right? Does that make sense, guys? So we want to speak on another stage and we have our own stages. There's a way we can barter it, but it has to make sense. Now, transparently, guys, I spoke and did my own workshops for years. For years. I launched my coaching business 2015. I had a workshop that I was doing 4 times per month minimum, not webinars. I wasn't the biggest fan of webinars. And the reason why I wasn't the biggest fan was because I don't know, I just come from a space where I came from network marketing and we did house parties, hotel parties, or hotel meetings. And I just found better results with being near people. People trust you a little bit more. But then when the pandemic happened and everybody got comfortable with being home, then we started to do the webinars. But how many of you guys have noticed there's a shift taking place? I don't know if everybody has caught it, but there is a shift. And there are a lot of people who are starting to go back to doing events. They might be tweaked a little bit, but they're doing events, whether it's come hang out, network, a dinner party, something that gets people to come out physically. God didn't give us the sense of touch for us not to be amongst each other. So you may not have to do 4 workshops per month, but I mean, let's just be honest. Yeah, I was doing 4 workshops per month. 5 to 10 people were showing up. The workshop might have been 2 hours, and I was making easily $10,000 to $15,000 a month. Like, is that really a lot of work? Honestly, is it? 5 to 10 people? That's not a hard setup. That's at the library. What are we talking about? Is that hard, y'all? Because a lot of times I see people that say they want to get into the speaking and coaching space, but they're waiting on everybody else to approve them and tell them, hey, come and let's do a workshop. No, I was doing my own library, Clubhouse. A lot of these restaurants have these private rooms you could use. I used to use Dave & Buster's had, I think it was Dave & Buster's. Is it Dave & Buster's? Because Houston had a Dave & Buster's where they had private rooms. And at that time, I knew somebody that worked there. So I could literally get a room and all I had to do was to order some appetizers. So there would be times where 5 people would be there. 1 person would be there. And all I would do was every single week, spend some time inviting them to come to the workshop. At the end of my workshop, I would make my offer. Now imagine you partner with other people who do events and you work on focusing getting more people there, this also gives you additional opportunities. So guys, was this good? Did this help give you some understanding, some more clarity, a little bit of ideas of what you can do? The most important thing that I'm also going to encourage you guys is to not be all over the place. Pick a strategy and stick with it. So if you're going to do one, we have our success schedule, right? We say one webinar per month / workshop. It could be a workshop or a webinar. Right now, in this month of August, we are going through the what? The event challenge. So everybody should have an event by the end of this month. You have 20 registrations. So if you focus on doing one webinar / workshop per month and focus on doing your signature talk where you make your offer, many of us guys will be able to generate the 5, 10, 15, 20,000 a month, week or day by just following that particular strategy. And then you use that opportunity to then connect with other people. Shucks, even if, let's just say, for example, maybe I don't want to give anybody a whole speaking spot, but I know someone that's doing an event and I want to speak at it. I say, listen, I got 3 vendor spots. I would like to gift you a vendor table at my event. Now, the only important thing, though, is that when you then do this type of stuff and you're trying to speak at someone's event, you have to make sure that when they come to yours, there are people there. And that's a whole nother conversation as far as getting people out to your events. In Book Profits Club, I give you guys the training on how to message people. Y'all, like we had we ended up with, as far as the number of people who registered, because as you know, we stream. So we ended up with about 380 registrations, and we probably had about 60 to 70 people who came to the event. So when it's a physical event, the show up ratio, it does, especially if it's a free event, it reduces. But guess what? Many of the people that came and the speakers that were there, they've already made sales. And this is a cold audience. Imagine when they start warming the audience up, what happens after that, right? Because we know that in a cold audience, you're not going to get a higher closing ratio. However, 70% of most of the sales are always made after the event is over. And so if you want to have an event where 100 people are there and it's a free event, then we already know we need to have about 6 times the registration. But if it's a paid event, it's a little bit different as far as the numbers. But if you're going to invite other people to come and be at your event that are hosting events, make sure you have the people there. All right, y'all. So does anybody have any questions? If you have any questions, go ahead and raise your hand and I will answer those for you guys on what we went over on today. Anybody have any questions? Okay, maybe not, maybe not. Okay, guys, well, if you don't have any questions, then what we need to be focusing on is making sure, guys, that we are positioning ourselves to get on these stages, right? Positioning ourselves to create our own stages, positioning ourselves so that when we do get an opportunity, that we have the right tools in place. How many of you guys have updated your speaker's profile on authorallstars.com? Let me know in the chat. Who has? If you have, just say me. Okay, Vancy, I see some hands up. I'm going to get you guys. If you have, just say me. If you have not, you want to make sure, y'all. I've already started sending, like, I'm going to this event tonight. I'm literally going to be telling everybody at the event because I'm bringing my magazine, but I'm going to tell them to go to Author All Stars tonight. So it's 2,000 people here in Atlanta at the 124th. Hold on, let me see. Let me pull it back up. It's the 124th National Black Business Conference. Over 2,000 people.
You have a question, Taria.
Yes, 1 second. I'm going to get to it.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to it. I got some hands up. So with that particular event, I forgot what I was saying. Okay, so let me go ahead and answer the questions. I forgot what I was saying. So let's go to Avancia first, darling. You have the mic.
Okay, awesome information. And so my question is, I'm going to be a new book author. So my book is about to come out to be launched. And what would you recommend when launching and inviting guests to speak? Like how many people and what should I look for when I'm inviting guests to speak, or what should I'm trying to see how should I position it to the speakers to be able to speak book launch / workshop.
What's the title of your book?
It's 30 Days of Bouncing Back, Tips on Overcoming Setbacks.
Okay, so call it the Setback Conference, something like that. don't do a book launch, right? So I'm not a big advocate for a book launch. Let me tell you the mentality behind why that is, right? So back in the day, when we didn't have stuff like Amazon or a BPC system or a software where we could sell our own books to people all over the world, typically when people wanted to buy your book, they had to go into a bookstore. And then if you wanted to meet the author, they would do a book signing, right? So that was a thing that was done before really the e-commerce world. So in those situations, people would come to buy the book. Does that make sense? So you would have a long line of people buying the book and then coming to get it autographed, right? Well, today, people can buy your book already in advance. So when you do a book launch and you spent all this money to put this event together, how many people do you think are coming to buy the book? Probably nobody. They've already bought it, right? I did that. And so I did it. Everybody was there. They had already bought. I bought these little extra books in case somebody wanted to buy. I was like, ooh, I bought like 100 extra books, expecting to make some thousands. Child, ain't nobody buy no books. Everybody already had their books. And it was it was like people were not ready for whatever was next, right? So I no longer do book launches, book signings, book tours. I do events. So if my whole thing is helping people to set back or to bounce back, I'm going to create a conference based on what I help people to do, the final transformation. Now, you can get all types of speakers in this way. This is an easy one. You can literally go on Facebook today and say, I'm looking for anyone who has bounced back from a challenge that would like to come and share their testimonial at my event. You see what I'm saying? So that's an easy way to get people. And if you want, now, this is what I will tell you, okay? And a lot of times I've even had people where they want me to actually to speak at their event because they feel that I will push it and promote it like it's my event. Well, I already have my own events, so I can't do that because that takes away from the thousands and thousands of dollars I'm spending on my events. So when we bring in certain influencers or people that have their own events, it's not always going to be likely that they're going to promote it the way that you're going to promote it. So for those of us who think by getting an influencer to speak at my event, it automatically is going to get me registrations, I'm just sorry to say that is not always the case. Okay? Get people who are going to be so excited to promote that they're going to speak at your event that can help you, right? Maybe local people that are in the market where you want to do this event. So if this is something I'm doing in Atlanta, I'm going to look for people that are not necessarily people doing their own events, but they've got some stuff going on where they might know some people. And then they can invite the people. That could be an opportunity. Also, let's say because you don't want people to necessarily be offering or talking about the same thing you offer. So if I know that this is bounced back, maybe I might do in different categories. I might have a trainer come. I might have, someone in finances come. I might have a certain other person in this particular topic come, and then I come and do a topic, right? So I don't necessarily have it all be the same type of, professionals coming to speak on this topic. Now, again, same scenario though. So once you have now figured out who your speaker is going to be, how you want to do this conference, it is still your responsibility though to promote and get the event sold out. Y'all, and this is where I'd be like, because sometimes people do not understand how hard. I just want you to know, Nancy, it's not easy to do an event. Okay, we just was at an event. We had our mastermind that took place here this week in Atlanta. Amazing. We were at this location called the Rice Center. Has anybody ever heard of it? The Russell Innovation Center, right? They had Jasmine. What's her name? Jasmine Gill. What's her name? That was on A Different World. Y'all know her name? Jasmine something. Anyway, she was at this event.
Jasmine Guy.
Jasmine Guy. There you go. The Jasmine Guy. They also had a young lady that was there who was which I'm going to actually connect with her so she can come talk to us, because she is an attorney of like digital rights, right? She's a digital rights type of attorney. I'm sure I'm saying the title wrong, but y'all know what I'm saying. She was there, killing it, right? And they had some other people that were there. They literally had about 20 people at this event. Posting on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, that is not marketing. That is just a slither of what it takes to get an event for people to show up. So when you make a decision to do these events, Avanti, when you get ready to put this event out there, you've got to be willing every day to be messaging people. If you're going to run ads, now, only time I recommend that you run ads, for one or two things. If you have a very big passive ad spend, that means you can spend $50,000 to $100,000 for a paid event, meaning that when you post the event the first time, it can retarget them again and keep retargeting and retargeting. That's going to cost you a lot of money, right? But you got to have that kind of disposable income. Or if it's a free event and you don't mind spending, about $500 to $1,000. For the event that we just did in Atlanta, where we had 360 registrants, we spent about $1,500 to $2,000 for ads. Okay, that's 360 registrants. And so it costs money to get people out, and even more today because it's events every time you turn around, right? So I'm not saying that to deter you. I'm just saying that if you don't have no ad spend, then guess what else you got to do? Up in the DMs. You'll be surprised how you will literally make your profile picture a flyer, Evancia. It'll be a flyer of your event, and you can DM people and say, hey, just checking to see what you're doing on September the 13th. They'll be like, why? What's going on? They're literally replying back to you, and your profile picture is the flyer saying September the 13th. It could be biggest day. They'll be like, what's going on? They don't be seeing it. And if they do see it, sometimes we get so immune to flyers, we just scroll right past it. We pay no attention to it. And so when you do put that event together, make it about a bigger event and you celebrate the book, yes, but also make sure that you're willing to do the work to market and promote for that event. Make sense?
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bertha, darling, yes, ma'am. What's your shirt say, girl?
Oh, it's the Jones thing.
Okay,
It was our family.
right.
It was our family reunion.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Okay, what you got for me, love?
Yeah. My question is about the December 6th, the All-Star Conference.
Yes.
What's the difference in the $1,000 and then the VIP? I'm a little confused. Or
Gotcha.
is there
Well,
any
we don't
difference?
really have any. We don't, it is. We do not have a lot of VIP left anyways. I believe what you did was you actually upgraded to be a speaker. So I made a special where you get to be a keynote speaker. The difference of the two is the two-page spread is $1,000. That means you
Right.
get 2 general admission tickets to the conference as well. And of course, you're an author all-star. Now, of course, remember, brand new, which we just got in the details. So I'm so excited about. If you are a Book Profits Club member, as long as you are active this month of August before, you will also be receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award by the United States President. And so that is huge. It don't matter if you're a 2-page or a 4-page. If you upgrade to the VIP, then that means you would get the 4-page spread, and then you would also get 2 VIP tickets, as well as some additional benefits that come along with it. You should have received that when you when you go to authorallstarsmagazine.com. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can see the difference of the two. But if I'm not mistaken, Bertha, you actually, because I did a special where the 3 people could pay to come to the November Mastermind, which means that you also get to be a keynoter, not necessarily the 4-page spread, but you get to be a keynoter at Author All Stars and at the pop-up workshop. So I don't know, Jave might be reaching out if you want to upgrade to do or you might have done it, I'm not sure, but to upgrade if you want to also get the VIP and the 4-page spread, which comes with some additional benefits. So if you just go to authorallstarsmagazine.com,
Okay.
you can see the difference in it too.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I am excited, guys, too. Have y'all seen the plaques, the Author All Stars plaques? They're so nice. And so, oh, yes, honey. So the awards are different this year, too. So we have the plaques because I was like, I want you guys to be able to have the printed digital copies. So you're going to get a digital copy that'll have your cover and your articles. So you can print out as many of those copies as you want. You will also get copies of the full magazine. So what do you think I would do with that copy of that article? With the cover and those 2 pages or 4 pages? When I'm pitching myself for these events, I'm sending that along with it. Does that make sense, y'all? So you send that along with it. But you'll be getting that so you can print out. Of course, you'll get your magazine copies, but we actually have plaques this year that are going to have the cover and then one of the article pages. And then, of course, the recognition for our BPC members. Now, for non-BPC members, they will still have an opportunity to qualify for the Lifetime Achievement Award when we start the voting. But we're doing this because we know BPC is plugged in. We know that you guys are putting in the work out there and you're qualifying yourself, because there is a specific qualification in order to get the Lifetime Achievement Award. And we don't want to be revoked from being able to offer this. So these awards and the medal that you guys will get actually do come from the United States government. So this is a huge, huge, huge feat that I'm excited for you guys to be able to get. All right. Any other questions? If not, then I'm about to get ready to go to the 124th annual Black Business Conference out here in Atlanta, Georgia. I appreciate you guys for being on. I am going to rebroadcast this right now as soon as the recording finishes. So when I rebroadcast it, if you guys want to type in the chat, make sure to introduce yourselves to those who are going to be watching. And then for those who also joined us for the Author All-Stars, I'm sorry, not Author All-Stars, the pop-up workshop. I promised I was going to do the drawing today, but because I'm having these challenges, I'm going to do the drawing for you guys. If maybe tomorrow, but for sure it'll be at least on Sunday when we have the Vision Impact Hour TV show to go live. So just make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And other than that, you guys have a wonderful and blessed evening. I can't wait to see you guys on next week. Bye, y'all. See you guys. Thank you for coming in.